In a world that's constantly changing, certain environments can be very harsh for the population. A natural disaster is a major adverse event resulting from natural processes of the earth. Examples include floods, winds, volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, tsunamis, and other geological processes. A natural disaster can cause loss of life or property damage, and typically leave some economic damage in its wake, the severity of which depends on the affected population's resilience or ability to recover. Thankfully, amidst every great storm there is help. This is the heart of a volunteer. America, the land of opportunity. Come here with nothing but able to survive. I was reminded of how great this country is when our team traveled to the Heartland. When Oklahoma was struck by this great storm, an even greater storm of support was sent to this area to help restore the land. This is the spirit of our land. Wherever there is desolation and a need for restoration, elsewhere there is a tugging of hearts and a drive of generosity. Yes, wherever there is a disaster, there is always relief. No matter the situation, the survivors of the storm are usually thankful for the same reasons. Not caring as much about their material possessions, they are just thankful that they made it out with their family. Now, of course, the sight of so much devastation can be very heartbreaking and overwhelming. Thankfully, there is always open hands and friendly smiles to come to for help, food, and shelter. Where is this great energy coming from? How did all these volunteers get here? What about all the great miracles that you hear of out in the fields? This energy, I know, is God guiding us as we serve His people. And when a church gives their members the opportunity to go, that gives people a chance to get involved. Now, of course, you hear of both negative and positive outcomes when in these types of areas. To sum things up, let's look at it all with a biblical reference. In Isaiah chapter 1, 7 through 9, the Living Bible translation, it says, "Your country lies in ruins, your cities are burned. While you watch, foreigners are destroying and plundering everything they see. You stand there helpless and abandoned like a watchman's shanty in the field when the harvest time is over, or when the crop is stripped and robbed. If the Lord of hosts had not stepped in to save a few of us, we would have been wiped out as Sodom and Gomorrah were." What does this verse mean? So here we have a city that lies in ruins. Some will come and loot everything they see. The community is helpless at this point. Now God, the host of all things good, will come and save His people from this attack. His goodness will reign in the form of volunteers, shelter, food, and great miracles. So when the storm comes, He will make sure that we can stand strong. Now, regarding the volunteers, when we look at Isaiah chapter 58, 11 through 12, New Living Translation, it states, "The Lord will guide you continually, giving you water when you are dry and restoring your strength. You'll be like a well-watered garden, like an ever-flowing spring. Some of you will rebuild the deserted ruins of your cities. Then you will be known as rebuilders of walls and restorers of homes." Now regarding the missionaries, as stated in Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1, the Living Bible translation, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the suffering and afflicted. He has sent me to comfort the brokenhearted, to announce liberty to captives, and to open the eyes of the blind." To learn more on how you can help, please stay tuned to the following message in this next clip.
Boundaries. There are none. Barriers, they're just there to test your resolve. You see, a course has been set. There is no wavering. There are no mountains so big, no oceans so wide, no terrain so rough that we won't find a way to climb over it or tear across. Boundless. That's how you describe Convoy of Hope's passion to feed the world. That passion helped fuel our trucks to travel more than 300,000 miles throughout our nation last year. It drove us to 72 outreaches in hurting cities full of hardworking people who are determined to get by. Tough cities where 25,000 proud volunteers stepped forward to help tens of thousands of their neighbors. It was that unrelenting calling that we hear deep in our hearts that led us to the mountaintop villages of Haiti, to the plains of Kenya, and to the garbage dumps of the Philippines as we put food in the mouths of more than 70,000 children. It led us to the earthquake-ravaged streets of Haiti on January 12th, where we distributed more than 9 million meals to a determined people who were fighting to hold on to hope. In 2010 alone, we served more than 7.7 million people and delivered more than $40 million of life-giving product. Our driving passion to feed the world is fueled by a source that cannot be extinguished. We are driven to push past every roadblock by one simple belief. Every child deserves to eat. Every child deserves a future. And that's precisely why, at the end of each and every day, our passion to feed the world is represented by one hungry child.
We're here in Moore, Oklahoma, more specifically right here in the Plaza Towers of Moore, Oklahoma. And all around us is just total devastation. Houses torn completely apart, trees debarked, cars upside down, totally smashed, wrapped around trees, and a lot of hurting people. There's such a need here for chaplains that we're sending in a fresh team. Sunday, 6 more chaplains will be coming in to work with those who are already here. And if the need be, we'll send in even more chaplains. We'll send here whatever it takes to help these people get through what they're going through right now. If you're a viewer watching today, you can really be in prayer for the community of Moore, Oklahoma. They desperately need your prayers. And most of all, be in prayer for our chaplains as they are here ministering and trying to help the community get back together and move on and help those who are suffering and hurting so bad. You can help in other ways too. You can go to the billygraham.org/RRT website if you wish to contribute financially. The people are still numb and somewhat in shock and denial that this could happen. Not only happened once, but it happened again, the second time. First time being in 1999. So they're numb. Every time they do find a little piece of something that belongs to them, it brings a smile on their face. They found something that they can recognize that belongs to them. And so they are numb and they're hurting, they're suffering bad. And the days to come are going to get even harder because realization is going to hit in that they're going to need a lot of help and they just will feel hopeless. And that's where we come in to share with them the love of Jesus Christ and give them hope that through Him they will get through this disaster.
One group of veterans even runs an organization called Team Rubicon that responds to natural disasters. They trek into some of the most remote areas of the world to provide medical aid to thousands of people in need. The organization was founded after the earthquake in Haiti,
want to be able to deploy these autonomous teams into regions that have been struck and devastated and bridge that gap between when that devastation happens and when the large aid organizations can respond. There's no reason we can't work in conjunction with the Red Cross and the UN. We're simply trying to get our story out there so that they realize that we have a legitimate model for doing this. And after 14 days, they are the finest organization in the world to run that disaster relief. But in those initial 2 weeks, we have a place.
I think a lot of people too, after we left the military, had a feeling that we wanted to do something that was, I guess, constructive rather than destructive.
Even though I'm retired from the Army, I like to continue to serve wherever I can with the community.
Now I feel like I'm more giving back to a specific community.
When you get out, you kind of have that feeling of, I guess, reassessing your self-worth and what are you really doing that's important in the world. It's bigger than yourself anymore.
I think all prior military individuals have a desire to serve. This is just another capacity we can do that in. I felt like I had to do something, and Team Rubicon gave me that opportunity to come down here and serve again.
The doctors, firefighters, medics, and veterans of Team Rubicon will be on standby for whatever the world throws our way. The volunteers of Team Rubicon are ready to deploy the next time we're in need. Be a part of the next mission by supporting us today.
Hey, I'm Franklin Graham, and this is what Samaritan's Purse is all about right here. Look, we got volunteers that have come to Moore, Oklahoma. Most of these are out of Wisconsin. But our volunteers come from all over the United States to help in times of crisis like this, and we come in the name of the Lord Jesus. We want people to know that God hasn't forgotten them, that when the storms of life come and everything you think you own and everything you've worked for is gone, God still loves you. God still cares for you.
I'm alive. I mean, I could be easily dead and not be able to have the opportunity to come back from this. So I feel like I'm blessed to be here, and I'm even more blessed to have these guys. From what I understand, some of them drove all night from Wisconsin to come in. So it's an overwhelming feeling of love. It's what it really is.
And out of all of this, we just pray that God will give us an opportunity to encourage these people, to love these people, and more importantly, to let them know about God and His Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins, and who was buried, who rose again to life. Life goes on, and for these people here in Moore, Oklahoma, we want to help them to rebuild their lives and to get them moving on. And that's what the Good Samaritan story is all about, a man who was beaten and robbed and left for dead on the side of the road. Helping people like that get up on their feet and getting them going again. And that's what we're doing. That's what this team is doing right here, helping them get going again.
My name is Michael Wendell, and I work on the disaster fundraising team at the American Red Cross. Thank you so much for your interest in supporting the international relief work of the Red Cross. Every single donation matters, so we really appreciate your support. A financial donation is by far the fastest, easiest, and most efficient way to lend your support in the early days and weeks following a disaster. Every year, the American Red Cross responds to disasters and assists millions of disaster survivors down the street, across the country, and around the world through the power of donations like yours. Whether it's $5 to provide a container to store clean drinking water, or it's $100 to provide a cooking set, hygiene pack, blankets, and water containers for a family of 5, your donation to the Red Cross will make a big difference in the lives of those affected by disasters. To make a donation, you can visit redcross.org, you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS, you can text Red Cross to 90999, you can mail in a donation, or you can drop off a donation at your local chapter. For more information on the international disaster relief work of the Red Cross, please visit www.redcross.org. Thanks again so much for your help.